Welcome to this session on economic management sciences, which is a key subject in the South African high schools, which leads to the lucrative field of financial management, accounting, and a number of related commercial subjects. So with me today is the business development consultant, and I am going to be presenting the content mapping of the subject called EMS. The subject is a combination of entrepreneurship, the economy, and financial literacy. The main focus of this presentation is going to be financial literacy. So we will unveil the content and show the key areas that need to be addressed, and as well as why we need to be giving support to teachers who are teaching this section of the syllabus of the economic management sciences, especially in grade 8 and grade 9. So we want to welcome our business development consultant. How are you doing today, Say?
Thank you very much, Mr. Madzinga. It's a wonderful day, and we're expecting to make a difference in our learners' lives as we explore more on the financial literacy, which is essential for the solution that they will seek to find, even as they proceed with their education, and even as they go into tertiary and also into their professions. Most of them are going to end up in entrepreneurship. Hence, financial literacy is an essential component of their studies as they get on to implement it within their day-to-day running of their own businesses. We wish them all the best.
All right. So thank you very much for that. We straight away get into the matter here so that we can show them what it is all about. The main emphasis is on understanding numbers as well as the arrangement, because we are dealing with the recordings for the businesses. So in this session, we are going to be exploring economic management sciences in grade 8 and focusing on financial literacy in support of the efforts of the Department of Basic Education in South Africa. We have our content taken from the annual teaching plan, where we have only extracted the topics to be concentrated on, trying to get to the core concepts, skills, critical thinking, reasoning, values, respect, and positive attitude. Accounting concepts. Can you take us through the requirements in this section?
Yes, thank you very much. We'll be looking at the concepts, which include capital, owner's equity, income expenses, profit and losses, transactions, liabilities, assets, banking, cash receipts, cash payments, subsidiary journal, accounting equation, which is going to conclude on our concept that's assets being equal to owner's equity plus the liabilities. Thank you.
Welcome. And then we move into dealing with source documents. What are we talking about when we talk about source documents?
Yes, source documents. These are now the receipts, the deposit slips, the cash registers. This is where we are going to get our information. We're looking at till slips, electronic funds transfer, the EFTs, the bank statements, and also cash invoices. That's what we will be looking at on source documents.
Wonderful. So as we proceed, we then want to be having an overview of the accounting cycle itself.
Yes. That's when we are focusing on the transactions, the source document subsidiary journals, the general ledgers, the trial balance, income statement, and the balance sheet.
Wonderful. Then we can never overemphasize the issue of the accounting equation at this foundation stage. What are we talking about now?
Yes, like we highlighted in the concept, cash transactions being the receipts on the accounting equation. Assets is equal to the owner's equity plus the liabilities. That is the assets. So we need to really grasp this equation.
Ensure that it is always going to be maintained whenever there is a change by any transaction. Interesting. And then we move on to the cash receipts journal. And of course, the first thing is to look at service businesses, those that do not buy and sell. What does this involve?
Well, the concept of cash receipts journal of a service or business format and uses of the columns in the cash receipt journal documents used to complete the CRJ. Yeah.
All right. As you can see, there is a lot of time that is going to be spent on the cash receipts journal. And we will still be focusing on the issue of the service businesses. But this is because cash is central to any business and safeguarding it is important. So that document is allocated quite a lot of time because it also takes time to develop the concepts, understand the columns like has been pointed out, and make sure that as we do that, we are conforming to even the concept of the accounting equation. But basically, we're spending a lot of time on the cash receipts journal so as to build confidence in the learners. All right?
Yes.
Then we are going to move on to the next part, which is going to bring in the twin journal, because money does not only come into the businesses, it also goes out. So now we talk about the cash payments journal. If you can take us through the two parts here of the cash payments journal.
Yeah, basically we are talking in terms of the cash payment journal of the service business. We have service businesses, the formats and uses of the columns, different columns that we have, and the source documents used when we are talking about the cash journal.
All right. So we, again, because we have unveiled the concept of the journals already, so the department is allocated only 2 weeks for that concept, because it's a follow-up on something that by this time we expect the learners to be aware of the different columns. The only thing that has changed is now we are recording money that is going out, as well as the documents that will be used for that. And then you see that the accounting equation catches up with us again, right? And this time we are concentrating on how money that goes out affects our accounting equation. And then we move on to the general ledger. Tell us about the general ledger.
Well, general ledger is where we actually have to have an opening ledger accounts, record accounts in the cash journals, and posts, to the ledger.
Wonderful.
We-
So
Yes.
at the end, all the information that we have been collecting from the businesses in terms of the two generals that we have covered so far, it is taken to a general ledger, and then that general ledger is then used to check whether things are going on well by creating the trial balance. You can conclude on that one.
Yeah, basically, the trial balance, that's when, like you have alluded earlier on, that's we're now finalizing, trying to check everything to conclude on our balance of the service businesses or service, whichever service we are offering.
Wonderful. So we use this to lay the foundation in grade 9. So in grade 8. And then we move on to grade 9 at another stage. So what we're going to be doing is now to prepare material that we will use to be illustrating each of these areas, and then seeing how much time can be allocated, and having video support material, activities that the learners can be doing, and them watching those videos even on their cell phones. Make it easy to download those and give every possible support to these children. Thank you very much until we get to the next session.
Thank you, Mr. Mavinga.